Hi everyone, welcome back to Barcast TV. It's February 17th, 2024, and that can only mean one thing. We have finally arrived at the Bar Pro League Season 2 round of 16, and we find ourselves in Group C with our first rounds match. On the left side of the map, we have, in the red trunks, our man Pro Andy, last season's semifinalist, and his opponent spawning on the right side of Red Comet. We have a new challenger in the round of 16 playing as the blue pieces. We have Lord Vader, or Dark Lord Vader. I think I'm going to refer to him as Vader from now. But yeah, so here we are. I'm really excited to be able to cast this game. And with this particular match in particular, because Vader here is my dark horse contender to make it to the finals, actually. I'd say this man can make it all the way to the end. Royal Road the whole tournament. So kind of rooting for him, even though he's going up against one of my more favorite players, Andy over here. There's no slouch to the game, and of, like I said, reigning semifinalist. So he's going to be opening up core bots, no LLT, and his opponent is also going core bots. Lord Vader, I don't know where this guy came from. Maybe you can let me know if he's like a team game player or where you've seen him around, but he just kind of showed up on the scene and has been, I mean, he's got very strong play, so really looking forward to watching this series. See two more solar collectors going down here. Pretty typical of a bot lab open. You really need to spend the starting metal, of course, and then you'll see like he'll be able to boost out these cons, right? So let's just take a look at this player view for a minute. You can see what I mean, right? He's just jamming through that energy here. He's gonna get that con out and then start moving out with his commander. See his opponent's vision. So just getting out that last engineer. I think he went for a little safer build. He's got his radar already up, so that's a little deviation in play so far. Andy's not far behind him though, getting one up in a superior location, I'd say. This hill offers quite the vantage point. Dead even metal production, of course. 1 minute into the game, 2 minutes into the game. And what is this third con queued up for our man Andy here? And Vader's going a little bit safer, right? He's got the radar already up. He's got 4 grunts. He's not even moving them across the map. He's just playing it safe, trying to be as defensive as possible. Really nice positioning, though, is defending these two mexes on the backside of his base. He's moving out, though, with his commander. I don't know if I like this. Yeah, he moves back and starts assisting the factory. Really nice catch there. Maybe perhaps a little bit of nerves here, but I'm glad he was able to correct that error, we'd say, pretty quickly. Like this little solar collector here. Blocks a little bit of movement, but just fixes the E as he's moving forward with his commander. Perhaps an overcommitment to energy here. What am I saying, though? He's playing bots. Making 3 solar collectors at one time. Vader doing the same, keeping his commander in the main base. I like this style, really. Playing as bots. Is he... Something about it. I wish I could kind of come up with an articulate way of saying how I feel about it, but just keeping the build power in the main base feels better. Getting all these early game grunts out, right? So what is it? Andy's got 4, 5, 6. Vader's got quite a few more, almost double the amount of grunts. More than double. See this one on the left side's gonna get taken out, but Vader really just has to pull the trigger. Another great radar positioning here as Andy's commander continues to advance forward. This little run-by attempt in the middle is going to get caught by these 2 grunts. Really nice positioning here. Let's take a look at this player view for a moment. See how our man Vader likes to play. A little bit tilted, not super zoomed out, but is going to find some damage here. Takes out a radar. Radar and stops a mechs being built. Not a bad trade. He catches his idle factory there, turns that back on. Let's look at our man Andy here. I always like to take a look and see how these higher level pro players look at the game, how they micro. Paying a lot of attention to this grunt battle here in the center of the map. There's both players trying to catch like a grunt on the edge, perhaps, or just posturing in front of each other. You know, if you know your opponent's, most of his grunts are standing right in front of yours, you know where they're not. Making a beeline to your expansion here, so he just has to keep walking forward. He's going to pull back. He doesn't know that think he could have gotten both of those mexes there if he wanted to. Vader's stepping forward. He's going to stop this exploiter going up. That's a really nice pick off. That exploiter has a pretty commanding position of this little intersection here on the map and tucks away into the crater. I'm wondering if Andy exactly saw that. I mean, I'm assuming he does. He's gotta be good. He's just posturing right in front of this opening here. So still some more damage. I think if he had moved that grunt over above this solar collector, he could have gotten some additional damage off on it. But look at this. You can step out of the crater right there. I didn't actually know that. Thought you had to move in and out through those little channels there. He's going to see this exploiter here. Andy likes to make this exploiter, specifically here. I've noticed that about him. There's just that little narrow point on the left side. You can sneak around it, but it doesn't give you much space, to be honest. So what do we have here? No transitions from either player. Take a look at the statistics here. Andy is up almost 1.3k metal there. I'm wondering how that happened. No big reclaim fields went his way. Just a slower expansion here from Vader, who's still in the main base. He's got a construction turret up. Really pumping out some units here. I think Vader is on a bit of a clock here. He needs to find a little bit of damage. Being 1.5k metal behind is no slouch here. No joke. Take a look at these income comparisons. 350 ETH per second to about 300. So ahead in both regards. These exploiters do such a great job of, you know, preventing these little intrusions onto your side of the map. Really great control here, even with these radars as well. It gives you all that knowledge you need, all that advanced warning of where do you position your units. See, this raid comes in on the bottom mid. Just trying to keep up with that. Staying close to these turrets, bringing up more units. And Andy is moving his commander top mid and really locking it down with a lot of LLTs there. He's trying to choke off these 3 mechs from Vader here. Denying that is a pretty big swing in metal. Each of these mechs is about 2.3 metal per second. Getting some pot shots. It's a cute little repair there on that grunt for a moment. And somewhere, I wonder how Vader fell so far behind. Well, he's getting some rocket bots out now. That's going to let him pressure these LLTs that Andy's put a lot of commitment into here. Look, these 2 radars, 5 LLTs, even going as far as making solars right there. And is transitioning into vehicles. This is a nice trade right here. I think this exploiter is a little bit vulnerable at the moment. It's not quite done. And that is a lot of grunts making their way to the right side of the map. Those grunts aren't going to be here to pressure these aggravators off of this position here. So I think Vader is going to be able to take out all these mexes for free. And he's kind of posturing on the left side and splitting up his forces on the right. Ooh, he didn't really know. Could have got this making exploiter. Is it going to go down? Nice little trade there. 2 of Andy's grunts go down pretty much immediately. And has to pull back. What is it? 7 versus 1 LLT. I don't think the LLT is that good. It's going to end up going down. I hear some rocket shots still going off, so clearing out these LLTs. Oh, he was targeting the ground there. You got to move your you got to move your rocket bots. You're just taking these shots here. Not what you want to see. This little run by here on the right side is finally going to be cleaned up. I think it's about time to see some res bots come out on the field and see a couple of pounders are being made currently. From our man Andy, he's going to be slowly moving those onto the middle of the board. See the single grunt that got away earlier takes out that con in the bottom right. Not a big mistake. So seeing a couple little mistakes here actually from our blue player. Trying to abuse this see fall off range on the rocket. You see he's attacking the ground right there and just outside of the range and using that fall off perhaps to hit that LLT in the back. But I don't think that's really necessary. I mean, rocket bots outrange LLTs. So same move out of Vader here. He's gotten this forward lab. He's making a couple of pounders first into medium tanks. But I see a lot more grunts here from red. Big engagement on the top side. The little AFK grunts here getting a huge arc put on them. Gonna sneak out and escape there, but not without taking a lot more losses. I think he can actually pinch this up against the side of the map. Yeah. None of these grunts are gonna get away. Big trade there. And there is 19 grunts beelining it towards your main base. How are you gonna stop this? Vader's trying to get into position here. Maybe get up a couple of LLTs if he can, but he's light on metal at the moment. Still 5k behind his opponent. It's just a huge deficit. A little slow to take these 4 mexes here. As we see from our red player. Did a great job of placing these like 4 LLT encampments. It's got plenty of exploiters. Exploiters are so strong on this map, especially in this early game. And we have enough grunts, you can really put them where you need those units if your opponent's attacking. Look at this. Oh, that's not what you want to see. Another construction bot comes down and just donates itself to this 3-kill grunt. Super unfortunate. And I think the noose is going to start tightening in here. I thought I heard an arty, but we see a 1 missile truck already out. Some advanced solars coming up from our red player, who should be able to reclaim a couple of these solars. Stalling on metal at the moment. Just continuing to pork up the map. Putting LLTs behind exploiters. Denying mexes from his opponent still. I mean, we're 11 minutes into the game and he's able to find these little incursions or gaps in the armor. And I think Vader is getting his his units together for some kind of push here. He's finally able to take these mexes in the middle, clear out a couple of these LLTs. I'd like to see that. The single grunt's working on its 3rd mex before it goes down. Look at that value. I think that was that grunt that had 2 con kills on it. And like, look at this difference in position here. You see from our 2 players. Vader's gonna step forward, but there's 2 pounders and a lot more medium tanks. You can't step into this arc. Loses 1 pounder for free pretty much. And is forced to back away. Grunts versus grunts. Trying to posture against each other. Trying to find a vulnerability here. Our blue player needs to find some damage somewhere. Finally has some res bots out on the map, but it's a little too late here. He said we're working on this exploiter here. Oh, that'd be a great target to res. And Andy's going to catch him out of position. He moves right, and that's going to trigger the attack in the middle here. So Vader's coming through with his commander. I think this is going to be the moment. Andy's sensing the comm snipe here, so he's just pulling his commander back to the main base. You're going to have to take a look and see how this fight goes. I see it completes around. Look at this. 270-degree arc around your opponent, and that's going to force Vader to pull back here. That's not the attack he was looking for. Kind of winning on the left side, but I missed this in the grunts on the top. Came through and cleared out a lot of these mexes and LLTs. So Vader's commander sitting at about 75% health, 50% health. Desperately trying to get a trade or some position on the map he needs, but he's dropping lower and lower in health. I think Andy could step forward. His army's kind of thinning out. And there's a huge reclaim field forming here. We already have a res bot here reclaiming though from our red players, so really nice job. Scooping up that metal. He's not trading his army in. He's playing it pretty safe. You know he has his army advantage at the moment. He just has to camp this reclaim field for now. He pretty much has the win. Vader's commander's getting awfully low. That's quite a few medium tanks he's stepping up against. He's going to micro back, get off a D-gun, but he's going to tap out and call it GG. So game 1's going to our red player here. I'll see you guys in game 2. Welcome back to Group C, Round 1 of the Bar Pro League. Here we have Game 2 between Lord Vader and his opponent, playing as the red pieces again, Andy. Pro Randy. And the map is Heartbreak Hill, so this is not a standard 1v1 map, but the more I play on it, the more I enjoy it, so that's a good thing for sure. I don't ever feel like vetoing it. There's definitely some maps in the pool I no, I don't want to call them a mistake putting them in, but it definitely you can tell what maps you like to veto. So maybe something you can leave in the comment section what maps you didn't like to play on or what maps you would like to see included into the best of 7 pool. And if you can, hit the like and subscribe button. Really helps the channel grow, helps the league grow, shows your support and appreciation for these great players. I mean, we're approaching the round of 8. It's going to be streamed on the 24th of February, so catch us live on Twitch over there, and we're going to be playing down to a finalist. Should be a really great game, really great day for Bar. We're going to have so many great matches. It's going to be insane, so come on down. I'm going to be casting. We should have some other casters lined up. LSR should be doing the observing for us, and it's just going to be a great day. So yeah, game 2 here. Andy opening up core bots. Vader, core bots, and well, interesting positioning on the commander and factory here, I noticed. So not blocking the units from coming out and really abusing this build range on the commander. I like this. He's kind of just building those back behind everything, as opposed to we see Andy's factory is a little farther forward, so a little nuance here, difference in play. Hopefully that music's not too loud. I turn it down just a hair. And bear with me, I'll change the controls to default so I can turn off the UI maybe. Some of these battles we see. So back to the game. We see this radar first on here. On the high ground, pretty much mirrored builds. I swear, Vader's studied. I mean, he's seen matches, just the way he opens. I've watched a couple of his replays. It's like he knows what to do. So I like to see that. See a second con expanding bot here for Andy, who goes Mex Radar Mex. So not the greediest open. Radar actually expanding behind him, so he gets the radar on the high ground. This is interesting, and then comes back and expands to these 2 mexes. And he's just moving out with these grunts. Sorry for that tile. It's so ugly seeing this not on grid, but I want to be able to turn the UI off for y'all when we get into some of these more cinematic battles. Zooming in and out a lot. Let's try and keep that down for you guys. See, Andy's added on a lot of energy here, so up on metal at the moment, and was up on energy for a second. Is Wind diving right now? No, it's just holding steady at about 9. So I've noticed something about Vader's play here. He's pretty defensive with his units. I don't think he's even seen if he's up against bots or vehicles, but just now he would have those radar signatures coming into his field of view. So same for Andy here. So they know each other's builds here, but I mean, I don't mind losing that one single grunt on the other side of the map. But if you just look at this positioning here, he's got like 2 protecting this lane. He's not being aggressive at all. He's just blocking the attack paths. And now he's moving out with his commander, so this is interesting. Construction turrets coming up. I wonder if he's going to assist that with this con over here. Moving out with this commander already. What am I watching over here? There's some air lab blocks. He's trying to block this grunt in. That's, you don't see that too much, but it seemed to work actually. That was really nice. Grunt gets caught over here on the right side. We just missed that, but goes down, protects this expanding con, who's kind of idle right now. Don't like to see that. This is a nice expansion here. So he goes LLT first and then the 2 mexes with the commander. It's fascinating. Should be getting these radar signatures online. Is he going to move in front of these? Yeah, nice reaction time there. Getting in front of these grunts as they come across the map. We see more grunts streaming across on the left side here. So it is another 7 grunts. Looks like that attack was deflected. So really nice catch there. Stopping this raid. Vitter even adding on energy with his commander here before moving. Actually, I'm not sure where he's going to move with this commander. Is he going to go mid? I'd imagine he's going to keep going up on this plateau here, but another player really wanting to trade into a fight right there. Another great catch here. Is he going to move into these grunts in time? Think so. Don't like this LLT positioning, but who am I? You know, he's playing in the round of 16, so really excited for Really excited for next Saturday, guys. It's gonna be we're gonna have the final bracket hopefully by the end of Sunday or tomorrow, February 18th. Should be pretty cool. I'm curious to know what your predictions would be if you have any. So who do you think's gonna win it? Who of the matches have yet to be played? You know, who's coming out of their groups? We have a couple of people who've made it through so far, but always like to get the conversation going. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Ooh. Ooh, excuse me. Oof. Sorry about that. Nice LOT positioning. So this is pretty cool to see with this commander movement here. He's like locking down this attack path. He's locking down this. Yeah. Continuing to move down. I wonder if he knows these two grunts are back here. I don't think he does. It's going to be unfortunate when he loses that con up here. But Andy doing a great job hiding cons. Super forward exploiter going up. I think he actually stopped making that to get this radar up in time. Oh, Vader does know these grunts are back there. Really nice. I like to see this. And he's only getting 3 grunts to commit to that. So pretty cool to see. This exploiter finished here on the mid side. So that's going to protect that con very nicely. Just deflecting these attacks. Andy drawing in very ambitious movements with his grunts there. Can take a look at these statistics and maybe check out these player views. So Randy's up at the 300 metal, very very tight distance here compared to last game at this same time. So let's take a look at these player views for a moment. Be a little spastic seeing them zoom in and out, but I like to get a sense of how these players like to look at things. Nice to see. Move on to Andy here. Playing fairly zoomed in actually. Finally pulls it back out some there. So playing pretty quick. I like to see it, yeah. He's got 3 construction turrets up already, a couple of energy converters just to balance out the E. Like to see that. See a bunch of grunts queued up here in the middle. That is a quite sizable force. Potential snipe here on the other side. Look at these grunts in reserves. I think the math isn't right now. Those 5 grunts just change it so much. Great D-guns there. And Andy trades a lot of units for some health on a commander that's just going to regenerate back. I don't think he's going to be able to commit to another attack soon after. And what is the counterpunch going to look like? I mean, I see a nice opening here. I don't think Vader exactly knows he could run up that hill. You'd have to position your grunts, but you could also bring all of his grunts to bear in the center here. I mean, look at the 17 versus 7 on the other side of the map here. And Vader's already moving, getting these resbots out, so he's sensing a fight here. And he's moving his resbots forward. This is great play here. I love to see this. He's not trading his army yet. He's just posturing up, letting his opponent's grunts come to him, right? He's like, I'm going to take the fight and be there with resbots already. Wonder if we'll see some nice reclaiming here. And Vader's moving into 2-factory production. Does he have the metal for this? He does, yeah. So he's getting a land factory up here on the plateau. I used to do this a lot. We've seen a more kind of maybe the meta perhaps shift to putting the factory here just above the main base, but I don't mind doing this at all. And fixing his E with his commander here, so I'd like to see that, adding on some more solars. See, Andy's actually stalling on E at the moment. He's doing the same thing. Big rotation here of grunts. I don't think Vader knows that's happening here. He's just camping the mid with these resbots here. Maybe he'll look for a fight here in a moment. Another fight here on the left side. Andy's pulling back. I don't think he has to. It's only 11 grunts. Somehow Vader senses this attack. He's moving units up into position here. I love putting a radar on that little high ground. But here we go. Grunts are stepping forward. What is this? 31 grunts? Oh my. 31 grunts versus 9. How is that fight going to go? This exploiter on the right side is holding down the fort with that LLT. Doing a lot of work here. And here we go. 31 grunts is just stepping forward. Who cares what happens? This is going to be quite the attack here. Andy's bringing up a lot of grunts here on the bottom side. He's really equalized the force here. What is going to happen? Vader is kiting back, and this is a decent trade so far for him, but he's just donating all of this metal, it seems. Running back into the main base. Meanwhile, there's a fight going on the right side. But this fight in the main base, all these grunts are going to get cleaned up. Is he going to find the wind, though? A couple of these grunts kind of sneak through. It's all going to get cleaned up, though, and there's res bots already here, so... Looks like the fight kind of inverted here. Single grunt gets cleaned up in the main base, so where are we at here? A lot of reclaim on both sides of the map. Andy did trade out a lot of his grunts on Vader's side there, but I'm not going to deny that was quite a bit of metal donated here in Randy's main base, which I saw him queue up a T2 lab just now. There's a couple of pounders out already, or is this the one? So one pounder, a couple medium tanks. Gotta group these units up together, actually, because these single isolated pounders can be taken out by grunts, so you have to have them supported by just a couple of units. And Vader's moving into air, actually. So going for that 3-factory production is getting a con turret up on this plateau. And what is he going to be making? Paralyzer drones. Love to see it. You can see this map position here. Andy's done a nice job like cutting off this side of the map. So he's got a nice wedge here for himself. Doesn't have to worry about units coming in through that top plateau. You kind of have to rotate quite a ways around the map to really get to that position. See, Andy's moving a lot of forces here to the top side. Vader's prepping for an attack there, so that's kind of good for him in some ways. This radar positioning is... Radar is telling the tale. Huge army grouping up, so he's getting into position to fight. Let's look at Vader's map vision here. I'd like to see a couple radars in the middle for both players. It could give them a lot of information about what's happening on these separate hills, but... Here he goes again. He's stepping into 3 exploiters, and there is a grunt army ready to surround this. Look at this trade. Not the best use of resources there. Andy keeps 30 grunts alive, so there's a lot of reclaim sitting around just a few exploiters, so you know the res bots are going to be protected. All those units are cleaned up, so he doesn't have to worry about chasing units down on his side of the map. And is this single paralyzer drone going to reveal the air switch? I think so, yeah. So air unit detected. See an instant queue up of any anti-air units? Not quite yet. But here we go. Twitcher first out of this T2 lab that just finished up. I mean, he knows there's a bunch of reclaim sitting over here. Excuse me, here's a T2 con. 2 T2 cons into a Twitcher. Seen Andy do this a lot. Into 3 Twitchers. So don't go T2 unless you know you can also get the con out, but maybe we'll see maybe we'll see these spy bots come out. Players have been abusing a lot in these team games, and here we go. Medium tanks attacking on the bottom mid. Bottom left side of the map, gonna clear out 2 exploiters, get a con and a couple of mexes here, and these grunts that are trying to clean up this force are gonna be met with 2 pounders here, so the bomber flies into flame, actually. Flies into frame. So you're gonna have a tough time cleaning up these pounders. He's trading all of these grunts into this, and this one pounder is at full health right now. Just cleaning up with these other medium tanks. So I think Vader just got himself a little bit of momentum back in this game. Yeah, Andy's gone T2. He's invested a lot into, you know, T2 mexes and some Twitchers. There's so much metal over here. Almost 1,000 metal to clean up. But the army advantage right now is going to Vader. Like, how are you going to stop these tanks, my friend? Just a single LLT and some grunts going up against medium tanks and pounders. See a couple of tanks go down for now, but the pounder in back is just cleaning up. And look at this fight here on the high ground. Vader pressing in, actually. A lot of this wind is vulnerable. A single bombing run comes off in the back, takes out a lot of the E. This is a huge fight. Andy's actually moving his commander to the bottom side of his base to protect himself. These 3 medium tanks in the back are getting so much damage. Vader's just making an arc of grunts here, just waiting for that commander to step out. So here he goes. A single fiend comes out here. He's gonna detonate, take out so many grunts. That was wild. Nice micro there. Those tanks in the back get cleaned up, but like, what does the E look like right now? Just a little under 1k for our red player, 1.6k for Vader. So Andy cleans up the attack, but at what cost? He's still got a healthy amount of build power. He's got T2. He's got 3 T2 maxes, a bunch of reclaims sitting outside of his main base. But Vader isn't easing up on the pressure. He's got some grunts coming in. These exploders have done so much work. 9 kills, 12 kills, 4 kills on these 3 exploders. But round 2 is going to come in. I don't think they're going to be able to stop that many grunts here. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, we see 2 more pounders. And a bunch more medium tanks are ready for round 2. Here comes another pounder. A lot of the build power and E is sitting up here on this high ground plateau for our blue player, so I'd like to see that. Spreading out your build power. Is he going to be able to take out these exploders? The resbots are in the back ready to get those turned back online, but that would have been a nice switch there, clearing out the exploiters and then turning them back online for yourself. He might even kind of try and go in and do it, but just greedily scooping up that reclaim. What reclaim he can. That's how you lose your resbots, my friend. Playing greedy with that build power. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, round 2 here for the medium tanks. Andy's commander is a little bit exposed here. I mean, there's 2 LLTs, but that's almost a dozen medium tanks. You can easily micro around those. This resbot is scooping up that metal. It was just outside the doorstep, and here we go. Single sumo and LLT protecting this commander, but Vader's stepping forward. He's getting some shots off, actually. Andy cloaks his commander. He's sitting down at about 50% HP. But he's going to walk around this sumo, maybe. No, he's going to try and meet up with these powder tanks that are just beelining it right towards the production. So another sumo's coming down off the high ground, but Andy, you're going to have to bring your commander out of the water here if you want to defend your base. What are you going to give up? First, this single sumo comes off the high ground, but I just can't clean up these tanks fast enough. These construction turrets are trying to reclaim these units, but the medium tanks in the back are just not being able to get dealt. Look, what is this? 10 tanks cleaning up all this energy, and he's bringing back his reinforcement, but look at the other side of the map. Blue is just streaming across right now. I think he's about to put the nail in the coffin here, taking out the T2 lab perhaps. See the Fiend step forward, take a lot of these grunts out, but there's just too many of them. And Vader's gonna take game 2, I think. I mean, there's the main base is gone. Andy's commander finally steps out of the water here, but I think he's just forcing Vader to kill his commander. He doesn't want to GG out of the game, and yeah, we're gonna go to game 3. Well played Vader here, taking a game off the former semifinalist. So what a game. Yeah, let's get into that replay real fast. Here we go. Canis River. Thank you guys for hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate the comments everyone's been leaving. I've been trying to produce some of those like short 1v1 like bird's eye games. Had a little bit of success with those. They're fun to make and just watch a game pretty quickly. So just another venue or format for the game. But here we go. Game 3. Who's gonna win? This could go Vader's way. I mean, he has to have a build order for this map, I'm sure. I'm curious to know if he's going to open vehicles or bots. Same for our man Andy here. But this is Canis River. It's a newer 1v1 map. That's why it's in the pool. Just wanted to showcase some of our map makers' creations here. It's kind of hard to tell, but this is a traversable path in this bottom right corner. We have the same thing on the opposite side of the map. Little traversable low ground river crossing there. And the map has got an interesting plateau feature here. A lot of mechs is on this high ground, but it cuts off radar vision, interesting enough. So to set up radar vision on your half of the map is definitely a tall order. And lastly, there's quite a bit of reclaim, so I like this map. The more I play on it, yeah, the more I like it. So much like Heartbreak Hill, pretty decent macro map, if you will. Didn't like to put too many of these in the map pool. Like to try and balance it out, but playing on it's been pretty fun. So maybe we'll have a different one in the pool next season, but definitely wanted to showcase this one. So let's look at these opening builds. See, Lord Vader's gone for construction bot first. And he's going armed vehicles off of 5 wind turbines. So he's continuing to make wind turbines here. Wind's dying a little bit. It's just dropping below 6, so kind of refusing to make that. Solar collector. You see Vader has accepted his fate. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, if you look at this wind speed, right, and it's, you know, going up, going down, holding, the timer for the change, if wind is going up or down or stable, is every 15 seconds, right? So I see it went back up. As soon as you see it ticking back up, you know it's going to hold that rate for 15 seconds. And then it moves to like stalling. So you can kind of, you know where the wind is heading, where it's moving to. Interesting thing. So Vader's playing it safe. I like this open. Look at this. Con first, radar, grunt, grunt. So super slick here. He went three solar collectors even, so playing really safe with the E even. And like notice how perfectly this times out, which is like the rovers are showing up to harass you, and your grunts are stepping off the line to protect your main base. So pretty cool to see off of a 3-max start. I think this is not a standard open, but you can take this into your own games for sure. On most maps even, just like the radar in the main base. Can't go wrong. So second construction bot out. Moving to these 3 mexes. So pretty standard expansion patterns. Let's take a look at the other side of the map. See what Andy's doing. Playing really greedy actually. He's gone 2 cons, 3rd con, 4th con, and has 5 rovers. Just keeping an eye on what's happening on the other side of the map, or keeping our man Vader honest, who we know has been playing pretty defensively. Look, he's just passively holding onto his mexes, making sure his mexes aren't dying, right? His construction bots aren't dying. I mean, yeah, you might get unlucky perhaps and lose a mex. I mean, you're playing against one of the best players in the game, so you know you're going to take some damage, but really respecting this early game here. Doing a great job microing. See Andy sharking around. Like, look at this, like 3 rovers moving around your base at one time. It can be hard to defend, but really nice control here. Nice positioning. Early resbot here, getting this, resing this mech that went down. I like to see that. You don't have to turn around with this construction bot and remake the mechs you already. They can slow down your opens there, but finally cleaning up that one rover, re-resing that one mech, kind of unfortunate here, but Andy's pulling some tanks together. Have to see where he wants to go with these tanks. And more cons actually, so 2 cons on the left side, 2 cons on the bottom expanding. I like to see this. Stalling on metal at the moment. We can take a look at these statistics actually. Super even. 4 minutes into the game, a rover is gonna slip by maybe? No, he's gonna get deflected here perhaps. Oh my goodness, that's such good control. Just juking and jiving, that was wild to see. It's kind of triggering honestly, just trying to defend against rovers. Can be hard even with grunts as against these top level players. Can speak to my own experiences. And like look at this resbot doing work right now. Grabbing all this E on the map. So another rover goes down, kind of really letting Vader put the pressure on his opponent now. So feels safe enough with the units he has on his side of the map. Attack on the left side, grunts on the right side. Content to sit here in the main base and assist his factory. No E scaling at the moment from our blue player, but he's made a lot of solar collectors. Meanwhile, we can see our red player, he's got 1 construction vehicle already out, scaling his E. He's got 2 more trying to add on solar collectors. Excuse me, construction turrets. And like, look at this, classic Andy here. So like radar, LLT, and then he's gonna go into mexes, right? We'll see this repeated over and over again as the game progresses, I'm sure. This LLT finishes just in time. These 6 grunts gonna get shut down here by the blitzes. That's a nice pick off there, taking off this pressure on the right side, and you can see that instantly commits to a little counterattack right there. So frees up pressure on the right side, attacks on the right side, pressure on the left side still. He just has to work towards defending. He's actually attack moving with these units here, so he's already buttoned up on this left side. This is such a nice style. I mean, look at these LLT placements. For those of you who are interested, at the end of this season, I'll be releasing the map pack, so you can grab those replays, download them. I was thinking about kind of putting them behind a paywall in some regards, like $5 gets you the replays, but I don't know if I don't really know if I want to do that. I was gonna say just gonna put that money towards the prize pool of the next season, so that'd be a great way to kind of show your support or say thank you. So if you are so inclined and you do download the replays, maybe consider donating to next season's prize pool. So $5, great way to show your appreciation and say thanks. So, and I just want to say thanks to our players who get together and play all these wonderful matches. I mean, if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have this tournament going on. So thanks, guys. So back to the game, we see blitz raiding going on all over the place right now. One on the top side of the map gets cleaned up. Left side one picks off a mech, and this low health blitz takes out a constructing solar collector. So kind of tilting to see these units come in and grab radars and mexes when you have grunts and LLTs in position to defend against this very thing. But I think Vader finally cleans it all up. Safe now. We have that single blitz hiding on the top side of the map. Don't think it's going to move anytime soon. And Vader has a moment to kind of catch his breath and get out a lot of these res bots. He's going to start resing some of these units that have fallen on his side of the map. Blitzes even to our core bot player. Love to see that. Turn these mexes back online. I would like to see a little more build power out of our Lord Vader. I know you just deflected an attack. And see, he's getting up a vehicle plant. So great way to spend the starting metal. Let's take a look at our red players, see if we can see any transitions. So content to grab his quadrant of the map, if you will. Continuing to add on E. Finish taking this bottom side here, not making the hydro, but instead moving towards his opponent's side. So crossing the river here. Single blitz, move through, grabs 1 mex, 2 mex. Oh my gosh. Grabs the radar, grabs another mex. What a champ here. That's such good value here. That single low health blitz that we saw on the top side of the map came in. Grab 3 mexes and a radar. That is wild. But the resbots are here to turn it back online. So I'd like to see that. And so we can see these silhouettes. So finally scaling some E here from our blue player, who's once again feeling confident enough to attack. So posturing on the left side here. Posturing on the right side. Blitzes and grunts even. I think these are going to get cleaned up. You can't run into this much red here. Yeah, this run by attempt is going to get cleaned up here. It's going to get shut down. Immediately cleaned up. So really like to see that. Another radar here. Look at this forward radar positioning here. You can see all this unit movement across the river here. So take your notes. These resbots are cleaning up here on the other side. So really showing their value here. Wish you could like see how much metal has been res, something like that. Or the equivalent build power it would take to make those units, something to that effect. So look at this. Yeah, radar, LLT, or Twilight even. I noticed about Andy's play. He puts these Twilights forward in front of the LLTs and whatnot. So look at that. We'll see that hopefully come into play later, but I just noticed that recently about this positioning here. So pretty cool to see the value out of the ARM kind of specialized mechs compared to its core counterpart. So Andy's attacking on the left side here, but really nice control and positioning here from Vader. He's moving in, he's trying to cut this off. This is really what you have to do and stay on top of it. Yeah, microwing back, Andy turns around. You step forward. He turns around. You turn around. You know, it's like this dance. Vader kind of awkwardly stepping forward, moves back to his commander. He's pulling up mass metal at the moment. So I like to see that, stepping back and just using this build power to get out some more units. See another attack here on the left side, but there's quite a few medium tanks. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. So yeah, both players recognizing that. Andy's stepping forward using his advantage. Maybe he sees a couple extra units. Doesn't want to cross over the middle of the map. Look at these two construction bots from earlier. Radar, cloaked metal extractor, right? See a little step over here on the left side. These grunts are AFK idling, moving back. Not giving him the trade. A little bit of posturing here on the right side. Invader is just assisting this commander here, so I'm going to zoom out, look at these statistics. Andy's ahead 2k metal at the moment. It's got a lot of wind turbines. It's up on energy. Moving into air, actually. And has 3 advanced solar, so really crucial to get these online. Energy storage even. And is doing like a little bit of an air switch and has gunships queued up. So I have to keep an eye on that, see how he wants to use those. Not the biggest commitment, not 20, not 30, but just 10 gunships. Andy stepping forward on the left side here. He's going to run into an exploiter and a big grunt army. And that is a nice trade. Stepping forward, getting that flanking damage here. Can't quite body block the units, but yeah, taking out quite a few of those medium tanks. And he's forced to pull back. And Vader's, yeah, he's moving forward with his commander now, so he really wants to secure this plateau. You need to get this these 2 lanes blocked off from your opponent. This is crucial real estate behind your base. You can put a lot of eco tucked way far away from your opponent. Kind of oddly enough, missing capping one of those mexes. See, Andy's missing the same 2 mexes. Self-detonation on the Twilight Wreck or a ground attack? I think that was a ground attack, actually. Yeah, see, he's doing it again. So he knows those are there. Doesn't want. He's not taking the bait. Really clean control. A little counter micro. Perhaps a run-by attempt here. This is annoying. 3 tanks slipping by. Looked like they wanted to go after those 2 or 3 res bots here, but thought better of it. That bought them a couple of seconds, though, and cost them a lot of HP there, so a little bit of indecision there from our red player. And suddenly the tempo has shifted even. I mean, look at these standing armies. Big army on the left side. Big army on the right side. That's a lot of medium tanks. What's this? 21 medium tanks. Some blitzes and grunts. That tank got cleaned up on the high ground. Couldn't slip past. That would have been unfortunate. Couple of tanks slipping past your defenses. These res bots are continuing to get value. And the gunships are going to be revealed, so trying to get past this on the high ground here, but Vader is pulling the trigger. I mean, look at these 2 standing armies, and it's like 30 tanks, right? Just going to run past these medium tanks. Andy's scrambling to defend here, bringing most of his army to the front line here. Gunships are revealed, taking out the LOTs, but plot twist, there's Twilights here that you can't attack. But the res bots might go down. Oh, Andy's flying past him. He could have taken out all those res bots, but I mean, look at this big attack here, running through. Clearing out mexes and LO2s and radars. Love to see that. And the second attack, right? So here comes 22 grunts here. Don't think he knows about these two construction bots. That would have been a great catch here, but yeah, I mean, look at this attack. So many tanks streaming forward. They're gonna get into the main base. Excuse me. Gonna get in the main base, maybe take out some of these wind turbines. But really good body blocking here. Even the wrecks preventing these tanks from moving forward, so. But there's more tanks. There's another counter attack here. Follow-up attack. And here come the res bots. Coming to get their value here. This grunt attack is going to be streaming in. I don't think this is the play right there. They're going to be running into so many medium tanks and LLTs. Vader wants to keep up the pressure, though. He's stepping forward, trying to find some damage here. I don't think that was a play. Those grunts on the left side pretty much evaporate there. Gets a energy converter for his troubles. And does a nice job pulling back with these medium tanks. So he doesn't want to trade his whole army there. Andy was... got the tank lead now, so you can see that. Another grunt counterattack here. But they are a little bit too late. The LLTs are finished. A Dragon's Claw is going to be put up. Look at this little misclick here. A line drag of LLTs. Costed him almost 1,000 metal there. And here we go. Forward air lab. Moving into some paralyzer drones. So Vader's turning up the heat. He's got the pressure on now. He's 4K metal behind. That's sitting pretty much right in front of his opponent's base. And he did a great job. Okay, he reclaimed his air lab, made the bot lab. He's getting out these resers. Got quite a few already made. Just has to hold his time, like bide his time for a few seconds. Defend his energy. Get all this metal reclaimed or harvested back into his coffers. He's stalling on metal. I'd like to see one of these res bots actually just reclaiming while the other doing their resing thing. But here we go. Vader's stepping forward again, perhaps? Feeling confident. He's got another 20 tanks, some grunts, a lot of anti-air from earlier. So he had to build 6 of these thrashers or lashers here to defend himself against Andy's air, against his gunships. But here we go. A huge tank battle. For players stepping forward, Blue's pulling back. Here comes the paralyzer drones. A little bit mistimed here. Didn't quite sync that up perfectly, but he's going to trade out a couple of these, or EMP a couple of these units that are taking them out of the fight. But there's just so many red tanks here, I don't think it quite matters, actually. Another attack here on the left side. This time it's medium tanks and grunts with some anti-air. It's going to force Andy to split up some of his forces. He's pulling off half of his tanks. The other half are going to stay behind. There goes the cloakable metal attack there, EMPing like half of that army. And he reveals he had some tanks there, so that triggers Vader to step forward here with his own medium tanks. And I really like this fight here for Blue. He's got the numbers advantage. He needs to have these thrashers pulled into the back here. They do not do well against medium tanks. Heads up. And where is this battle going? There's so many medium tanks. I'm not sure who's going to win, actually. And he's pulling his units in a line, but Blue is a little more pulled up here. So many wrecks on the ground. How much metal is this, actually? 7.5k metal just sitting right in front of your main base. And bombers are the follow-up, actually. So 3 bombers making their way to the main base. Andy's scrambling to make some more anti-air. He's got 2 turrets already up. The first bomb goes off. Gets some energy converters. Takes out a lot of this energy here. Pretty crucial moment. You need a lot of E to do some resing, but most of these res bots looks like they were killed, actually. So just down to 2 res bots at the moment. These bombers got a couple more passes off, but look at this reclaim field. I mean, it's almost 8k reclaim sitting right in front of your main base, and I think Vader's got the position here. He's got more medium tanks. I mean, he's got Andy on the ropes here. I mean, look at this pressure. He's just perfectly content on his side of the map. There's nothing happening. All the pressure is right here, right in front of his opponent's base. Another bomber flying through. Gets one of his payloads off before going down to the anti-air. And just look at all these wrecks. These units have to path through them. You can't cleanly move through this reclaim field here. Is Vader doing it? He's getting up a forward lab to get more of these res bots. We see some streaming across the map. A little unfortunate here. They're pathing to these trees instead of this reclaim field. Yeah, so the lab is done. He's got an army advantage. Look at this. 15 tanks, 17 tanks to like 15 with the one single Janus. Comes out, gets a couple of shots off. But Andy's replenished his resbot count here, so he's going to be doing work here, but Wind is diving. He doesn't have a lot of stable E here, so he kind of pulls back for a second with his resbots, comes back behind his tanks. He's going to burn through this E there, and I think suddenly the numbers have shifted to our red player here. This is a wild tank battle. This has been going on for so long. There's so much reclaim here. 12k reclaim sitting right in front of your opponent's base. He res the single LLT on the left side. That is just doing a super great job annoying our red player. But I think the resbot battle is going to Andy here. He's got a lot of resbots in the back doing so much work reclaiming, resing these tanks. Getting a nice arc on this battlefield here, but I don't think it quite matters. I mean, what is there? 17 medium tanks right here, so you have a lot of HP. Take a long time to kill. Blue's rotating around. He's pulling red down off of this reclaim field. That might give him an opportunity to snipe some of these res bots, but they reclaim the tanks, res the tanks so quickly. I don't think it's quite going to happen. Vader stepping forward with his commander. He's gambling. He wants to get control of this reclaim field, so he's going to come in, get a couple of D-guns off. He wants to shave off some of these medium tanks. But he stepped forward too far with his own, and I think... Oh my gosh, this is so close. Andy's got more tanks now, though, and Vader stepped too far forward. He's going down his commander cloaks. He's so low right now. I think he's going to go down. And he gets the kill. Wow. Really close game there. Almost 2 O's. There's semi-finalists from last season there. But yeah, Andy advances to the round of 8, and Vader makes a hell of a series there. Taking it to game 3 versus Andy. So well played there. Hope you get wish you the best of luck in your upcoming games. But yeah, that's that series there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know how you liked it. Leave a like, subscribe, comment on the video. Let me know who you think's gonna win the whole thing, and I'll see you guys in the next cast.